Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hot Takes on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. I'm your host, Keith Gibson. On today's show, we welcome in MPThree Baseball owner, Mark Paul. Mark has a huge following on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. He does some great videos, has a great website for travel ball parents and baseball enthusiasts. We're going to hear his story and dive into what he thinks the pros and cons are of travel baseball. Right here on Hot Takes. But before we get started, we're going to take a quick break and hear from one of our sponsors, and then we'll come back and welcome Mark into the show. All right, you're listening to Hot Takes right here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
Over the past year, Clubhouse Lounge Radio has hit the back roads and sat on bar stools looking for the perfect venue for an historic day of singers and songwriters. Ladies and gentlemen, that venue has been found. If you like suntans, live bands, and beer cans, then Bar Agenda will be your place to be on July 22nd as country financial agent Buddy Wilson and Clubhouse Lounge Radio present to you Summer Shakedown, the one-day, all-day music festival at Bargenta in Argenta, Illinois, featuring 7 of the best musicians, singers, songwriters in Central Illinois, and headlined by the Joe Stam Band on stage live Saturday night. Make plans now, mark your calendars, because you won't want to miss the party of the summer. It's Summer Shakedown Music Fest at Bargenta in Argenta, Illinois on July 22nd. Brought to you by country financial agent Buddy Wilson and Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
Welcome back, everybody, to Hot Takes here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. And with me today is a distinguished guest of mine. He is the founder of MPThree Baseball. He's got a huge following on Instagram and Facebook and runs the travel baseball scene, none other than Mark Paul. Mark, thank you for joining us, my friend.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
I'm wired right now. Just drinking energy drinks. I'm ready to go.
All right. Sounds great. Now, Mark, you have put out some amazing, entertaining videos that relate to travel ball. And before we came on air, you said you've been doing it now for 7 years.
Well, I've been doing it for about 2 now. I've been involved in travel ball for about 7 years. Yeah.
Okay.
The video's been about 2 years now.
And in 2 years, you have a massive following, which is awesome because I think your videos, and if you don't follow Mark on Instagram or Facebook, please go do, because they are great. And if you're a travel ball parent, they're even better. But how'd you get it all started? You've been in travel ball, you said, for 7 years, now doing the videos for 2.
Man,
how did you get started?
I had my son played on a real, what we thought was a very competitive team in the good old area of Bullitt County, Kentucky, population of like 14, we got about 4 banks, 3 car parts stores, and 1 Kroger, grocery store. That's it. And a baseball field. So I was on a rec ball league, and I was with some of the guys I just met. I was new to the area, and we were able to pick the top kids from out of about 100 of who we thought were the better kids to play in an all-star thing. Long story short, we were like, hey, we should start a travel ball, because everybody was like, let's just create a travel ball team because that's what everybody else is doing. So we thought we had this like team, and we had different parents from everything. We've had the old parents, the young parents, we had the drug addicts, we had the cops, we had the grandparents. You name it, everybody was on that team. And so we were the cool parents. So all our families were just kind of like, would talk to us about all the drama. This is what's going on. Why ain't playing my kid there? His son gets the bat high to line up. He ain't even no good. He didn't show up to practice late. He didn't get in trouble. Why didn't my kid get invited to his house and he didn't get to go to London? And so we were getting ready to break up because some of the coaches on the team had some older kids that were going to play them up. And I was like, screw this, man. I don't care about the end of this year. We're done after this year. My daughter said, hey, you ever heard of TikTok, Dad? And I said, no, what is it? He goes, you need to make a video because you're going to be famous. And then one day I looked at all these moms, and I told my daughter, I was like, all right. I was like, I got an idea for one, because the moms were all sitting on the bleachers, and they were losing their mind at the very beginning of practice, first part of the year. Last season, never going to be with these parents again. All of them were like, it's all about my kid this year. So I watched them all think that their kids were the greatest ones in the world. I took a video of it being like, these moms think their kids are the greatest players in the world, and that thing just shot up. And then I said, well, damn, I need to do that again. So I ended up doing a cocky dad. Then I started with the rec ball dad, and then it just kind of went, and then the following kept growing, and that's about how that started.
So let's talk MP3 Baseball. How did you come up with the brand? Was it just something that you had in the back of your mind, or how did that start?
I worked as an electric designer at a utility company for a long time, and I started coming out with, these videos, and then I met up with another some marketing people that I knew, and they go, man, you need to come out with a shirt. You need some merch. And I was thinking, man, all I have is like 40,000 followers. Ain't nobody gonna want any of my stuff. So one day I made a shirt that said, outfield matters and stay calm, it's just pool play, and people like bought it in that week. And I made more in that week from those two shirts than I did for a full month at my job. So then I was like, I wonder if I come out with more of these shirts and make the website a little bit better. And so the MP3 came from, my name is Mark Paul. And then 3 was the fact that I have a middle name that's Thomas. So I've got 3 first names. And I low key wanted to be cool like Chris Paul from the NBA, and they called it CP3. So I did the MP number 3, and it didn't work. So my daughter said, just spell it out. And so we created that name on TikTok, and then it started from right there. So
that's awesome.
Added baseball onto it, and that's kind of how that started, which now is sunglasses and batting gloves. And now I have a separate company called Solero Shades. It's a little more geared towards, the premium side of sunglasses.
Yeah, MPThreeBaseball.com, some great shirts. I think one of my favorite videos that you've done, though, is you're always on blue.
Yeah.
Blue's always, you're killing me, Blue. That's what I always say. You're killing me, Blue.
You say, Blue. My buddy of mine who we played for his team, I was an assistant coach on there, and he'd sit over there and get all bent out of shape. He'd be like, mate, whatever you say, Blue. And I was like, that's a good idea for a shirt right there. So I gave him a free one, so that's all you get.
Well, great shirts and everything. Now, we talked, and I emailed you, and you were just in the Central Illinois area in Rantoul. So how much do you do traveling with your team, and how much travel do you do with the company?
Well, right now, I'm not really I travel with my son's team. He's on an 11U major team, and they do a lot of traveling on their own. But for the most part, that Rantoul thing was with Baseball Youth, which is like a whole little paid-to-play thing that I ended up getting involved in just before all the TikTok stuff. And I liked it because I was able to see some pretty top competition all over different parts of the country who would, parents would pay to bring them out there. And I thought, well, this is pretty good because I'd like to see how my son stacked up against it. Well, then the TikTok stuff was going on. They were like, hey, would you like to be a guest coach? And I was like, for sure. Well, then we won. And then it kept winning. And it was like, okay, so all the while, my stuff was growing. And then I had tournament directors start reaching out. And they're like, hey, we'd love to pay to have you come out here and be a guest and speak. And So I've been doing that I've done that about 6-7 times already. I'm actually leaving for Dallas Friday to go do that again. It's actually a Solero Shades tournament for me that we're hosting it. And there's about 100-something teams, and it's in Irving, Texas. And I'll be out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Nice. And so you were up in Rantoul. What'd you think of the facility?
I really thought it was awesome. I thought it was, that place has absolutely nothing anywhere, but a bunch of wind and a bunch of plowed cornfields, but the facility was awesome. I mean, the whole thing was turf. They had football everywhere, had a putt-putt course. I mean, it was very, very nice. Got a nice Walmart, nice hotel right by. And I got to say, man, I thought that everybody there was super, super nice. Met a lot of people from, Illinois. There was a lot of kids from Iowa there. I loved it. I thought it was cool, man. It's clean. It's a clean park, and it
is. They took very good care of it.
It's brand new, isn't it? I mean, it looks
it's not old. It's about 5 years old. So, they've taken good care of it and maintained it, and it's busy every single weekend.
Yeah, I'd come back there for sure. I had a good time there. I'd stay a little. But
did anybody recognize you when you were there?
Yeah. I'm pretty popular at most travel ball games now. It's hard to. The day it was a little tough because it was cold on Sunday and rainy, and I had my sunglasses on, so really all you could see was like my nose and a little bit of my mouth. But I didn't have my shirts on. But Saturday, they knew I was there.
Now, are you able to promote your brand, the MP3 brand, when you go to these tournaments too, or you just kind of wear your shirts and stuff?
I've got to a point now to where I've been able to talk. A lot of the tournament directors will call and say, "Hey, can you promote my tournament? In exchange, we'll let you set up a booth." So most of the bigger tournament It's like Georgia and Panama City, and I did some stuff in Virginia, and they'll let me, set up my booth. I'll have a booth set up in Dallas this weekend where I'm selling batting gloves and sunglasses and shirts, and you just kind of, they'll let me show up, and they want me there to promote their stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's been a good thing.
So you said you worked in electric. I'm gonna guess you don't do that anymore.
No, I got fired about a year ago in March because of this stuff, because I had a baseball field right next door to my office, and I'd sneak over on lunch break, make a bunch of baseball mom videos. And they were like, hey, they showed up. This is funny. They go, I walk in one day and my wife goes, listen, don't get fired until July, because I think we could be okay if you just get fired in July. Well, I got fired in March instead. And I walked in there, and I didn't like my boss at all. But I liked my manager, his manager, and then the HR guy was sitting there. And I was already rolling with the t-shirts, and I was just getting ready to come out with the sunglasses. And I walked in and I said, oh, you guys are about to fire me, aren't you? And they go, yeah. They go, why don't you just sit down? And I said, hold on a minute. I said, can I have this computer or buy it? And they said, no. I said, can I copy everything off of it? Because I had all my video stuff on there. And they go, yes. And I looked at my boss and I said something to him that I probably shouldn't have said. And I said, all right, that's all I got. I'll see y'all later. And they gave me a severance package for a month and said, go do your thing. I mean, they were actually really cool about it.
That's awesome.
And I can come back there, which I won't ever, because I don't like working for anybody now. I'm kind of feeling this business life a little bit.
I feel you. But
I've done, some real numbers because of this. I've hit, we're on pace for, close to what could be $1 million business this year.
That's crazy.
Just off of sunglasses and t-shirts and batting gloves. And we're looking at cleats now and gloves. It's all just affordable stuff for the travel ball parent. And it's good quality. So,
well, that's what I noticed about the website too. You have all these different websites out there who sell baseball shirts. You got Baseballism and a bunch of these other places.
Lifestyle. They got
Yeah.
I know them guys.
Yeah. But yours, I mean, really at $20 a shirt. I mean, you for a travel ball parent who spends a ton of money anyway, let's be honest, they do. Your stuff's affordable, and that's what makes it great.
I got my sunglasses. I got all of them under, about $80. I have a premium kind that are cheap. I have the kid. I even have baby ones coming out, and they're $50 Oakleys is all they are. I probably shouldn't say that, but they're 100% just like the Oakleys, and I'm not charging $300 for them because it's crazy when the kids are just going to break and lose them anyways.
Right. Hey, let's talk about a little bit of travel ball. So we did a show a couple weeks ago, talked about travel ball, the pros, the cons. What's your take on travel ball when it comes to, let's say, the 8 to 12-year-old range? I know you said your son's an 11U major, right?
Yes, sir.
So
he's the best kid in the world, too.
Doesn't every dad say that?
Nobody can handle him on the mound. He's got a great glove.
I bet he plays shortstop, too, doesn't he?
No, he plays third base. Believe it or not, he's not a huge shortstop guy.
All right.
I think that's the correct spot for him, honestly, is third. So,
well, let's talk about travel baseball, though. Let's a little bit. What have you seen? What are the goods and the bads of travel baseball that you've seen? Because you have now been all over the place. You've seen it from different perspectives. You made fun of it from different perspectives. Which is
I love it. I think it is the absolute most fun thing to do. It's like going to a Final Four every single weekend and cheering on your favorite basketball team, but it's your kid now. And then it's a reality show. It's all a Netflix series. I feel like right now I'm on season 6, episode 5. You know what I'm saying? And one of the parents just got divorced, and we don't know who they're going to date next week. So that's it's everything you can think of. It's just so comical, but at the same time, God, Lord, the level that this gets to, because there's some legit kids out there, and now you're not just living in this Kentucky bubble. I'm able to see it all over the United States now. I'm thinking, wow, like, you really could get your kid on a map just based on social media, because they all got Instagram accounts now. I think it's great. I think there's a lot of watered down travel ball that a lot of dads at early ages think that they can just handle a team, and they think they could just teach kids the same way they teach their own, but you can't, because not two kids are alike. One kid can't get yelled at like the other. And then, like I told you earlier before this thing started, you've got a lot of parents who just think that because they played freshman and sophomore year of high school that they're all of a sudden an MLB coach. And then you see their son playing middle infield and batting high in the lineup, and you know he shouldn't be there. But there are some dads who do have kids that are well enough, because I work with my kid all the time, but also do it in a way to where I'm not pushing them all the time. So I think you got a lot of parents that are too hard on their kids. You got a lot of parents that are just fine with their kids. Rec ball's definitely watered down now, and there are these different levels now from major to single A, and that matters. But, you know, it's just a lot of it is the who's who. It's parents trying to flex. But, I mean, I got to say, there's some top teams out there, and you really, there are some good. There is a lot of good to travel ball if you do it correctly. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is just do it all right, affordable, smart, no daddy ball, you know.
And you said it, I think you said it perfectly there, Mark, is you do it correctly. You put your kid in the right position to succeed. And, you know, I'm for it, but I'm also against it for the fact that I do see a lot of parents out there putting their kids in positions not to succeed or not working with them.
Or they're too hard on them. You
right.
know, you can't shut. Like, I let my son play football around the house. You know, I let him golf. I let him play Xbox. I don't shove it down his throat if he don't hit 400 balls a day, because I go to the gym for 20 years. There's weeks where I don't want to go, and nobody's going to get me in there, and I just don't go. And you know what? I'm back at it the week after that, and I feel like I'm a little bit better than I was. And so I try and teach Jalen that, you know. I'm like, look, I was never you. I was never the superstar athlete. I never got bat high in the lineup. I was never good. I looked like I could play, but they never let me play on the. They'd always be like, "Oh yeah, I mean, you go ahead and play," because I look like Jordan walking up, and they'd be like, after the first 5 minutes, like, "Hey, why don't you sit the bench? We'll get to you later." My son's the popular kid, you know, and I'm like, okay, so being the guy who sat the bench, how do you not get? Because I wanted him to be so good, and then I had to take a step back, and I came out with the daddy ball shirt. You know, it's like, don't be that guy. And now I've got a voice to where now it's like, you know, listen, you probably shouldn't do it that way. And I think I could be the voice to help people, which I have. I get tons of people write me all the time being, thank you. You know, you make me change the way I scream at my kid now, you know, and it's nice to hear, oh, I'm glad you don't yell at them all the time because of my little video I posted on, you know, Instagram. But, you know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Mark, I wish you nothing but the best moving forward. You are on the right roll, and you know, it's awesome. As you can tell, I don't have the body to play baseball either. I love baseball with everything in my heart. I was a catcher for a lot of years, and then I got moved to third base because the belly got in the way. But I will teach my kids and let them do what they want to as well.
Yeah,
I love coaching.
Yeah,
and I love coaching kids because it's just seeing their eyes light up when it clicks, when things click, is maybe the greatest thing that I've ever been able to do.
Now his swing's starting to come on, and after he fought me about it a whole long time, I'm like, you're finally doing what you griped at me about, and look at you go now. And he's like, ooh. And you know, it's nice to see people put in the work and then a positive outcome come out of it. And if I can make, you know, I like coaching kids. I like coaching kids the way I'm doing it. I don't coach all the time now because I can't, because of what I got going on. But every now and then I'll do these guest little appearance coaching things, and man, it's fun. And I've got it. My life is now documented for the last couple of years about my kids and stuff, and it's never going to go away. And I think it's going to be neat to look back on that and be like, you know what, that was a good decade right there.
That's right. That's right. So, Mark, tell everybody where they can find your stuff at.
Well, like you said, it's MPThreeBaseball.com. Everything's spelled out, no numbers, just THREE. That basically has the gloves, the shirts, and the glasses. And then I have a new premium sunglasses company where I've been working with some MLB players. I just signed a softball girl at Mississippi State. It's called Solero Shades. Got some new stuff coming out. We're going to be on Amazon here in the next couple months.
Nice.
So, Prime, yeah. So it's been wild, and we've been wholesaling to tournament directors all over the country, and it's been awesome.
Would you have thought 2 years ago, before I let you go, would you thought 2 years ago that you would be here this now when you first started TikTok?
No, man, I never. It was just a joke. I just wanted to sell a T-shirt, make a couple $100 a month. The next thing I know, you know, we're looking at a $1 million company this year, and it's stressful, but my God, is it, you know, we'll see what happens.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's fun. I love it, but it is 24/7. And if I spent this much time with my other jobs in the past, like I did on this one, I think my bosses would have liked me a little bit better.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Mark, thanks for joining Hot Takes on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Hey, I'm going to send you some swag too. That way you can use it as well, because I know we can always use some other swag.
And I'll send you some stuff. We'll text me and I'll give you my number when we get
Sounds
off here.
great. Sounds great. Mark Paul, ladies and gentlemen, from MP3 Baseball. Follow him on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It is a great videos. He does great things and is really building up kids in the community and travel ball parents too. So, Mark, thank you. And we'll talk to you soon. We'll take a quick break and be right back here.
Kester Homes is your full-service real estate team. They work all of Champaign County and a full 60-mile radius around. What really sets Kyle, Tiffany, and their team apart is they work with home buyers, home sellers, and build new construction homes. So they really are seeing all angles of the real estate industry, from existing homes, investment properties, and new construction. Contact Kester Homes at 217-390-5953 or visit online at kesterhomes.com. That's KOESTER homes.com. Kester Homes is a licensed real estate broker with the Keller Williams, the Real Estate Center of Illinois.
As we close this episode of Hot Takes, I want to send a special thank you to Mark Paul for joining us today. And make sure you visit his website, MPThreebaseball.com. That's MPTHREE baseball.com. Great shirts on there. Great, as he said, sunglasses, batting gloves, and clothing for the travel ball parent. And so make sure you check that out. Once again, thanks to him. Next week we've got Rodney Hawkins from MFL, and we've got Justin Ford, the owner of Full House over in Maroa. We're going to touch base with those guys and see what's going on in their businesses, and touch on a little music as well. Don't forget, Summer Shakedown, July 22nd at Bargenta in Argenta, Illinois. A full lineup of music, an all-day music fest featuring the best singer-songwriters here in Central Illinois. Reckless Whiskey at 7 o'clock out of Decatur, and then the Joe Stam Band steps on stage at 9 p.m. All taking place at Bargenta on July 22nd. Tickets only $20. That gets you an all-day pass. Come and go as many times as you want. And we will set you up. A few tickets are remaining. There's about 100 tickets left. There is limited capacity. So make sure you get your tickets now and order those before they run out. So, thank you for joining us. Thank you to Mark Paul for being our guest today. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Hot Takes with Keith Gibson on Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
Fire in the hole!